I do want to take this call from Chad. Then I have to talk about what's going on in the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. But let me take Chad. Go ahead, Chad, really quickly, please, sir. Chad? Chad's not there. All right. So, first of all, full disclosure. I am an endorser of, supporter of, and fan of Sheriff Patrick Labat of Fulton County. All right, let me get that out right away. All right. What's going on with him is the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. It's just crazy. Here's a guy that has consistently gone before the Fulton County Commission and said, I need X amount of money to fully staff this jail. I need Y amount of money to build the jail because we're arresting more people. There's more mental health going on. There's more criminals out there, and they're being jailed. APD is doing their job. Fulton County Sheriff's doing their job. Local jurisdictions are doing their job, and there's more trouble out there. And then the politicians go out there and they say, look, crime is down. Well, where do you think the criminals are? They're in jail. But then you don't fund the jail. And then someone, unfortunately passes away, dies, or has to have their legs or body parts amputated, and everybody blames the sheriff. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. You know, I'm a big sports fan. I love sports. And so with sports, you have a team. The team doesn't, the management doesn't invest in the team. And then all the fans yell and scream about why we can't win a Super Bowl or an NBA championship or World Series. But management doesn't fund the team. It's just the same thing. These politicians sit around. Bob Ellis, I'm calling you out. Yes, I am. You guys sit around. You won't fund the jail. You say, we don't like what he's doing with the money. But you don't give him any money to do anything with. And then, unfortunately, someone passes away because the jail is overcrowded. People are sleeping on floors. These are criminals. And you don't give them the money to hire people. You don't get, people have to leave because they don't want, you cut the overtime. So a guy puts in a 15-hour day, it's at regular pay. Who does that? In a jail. And then you blame the guy. You repeatedly won't fund a jail, even before Patrick Labat. You know why? Because jail funding is not a politically a thing that people want to talk about. But every single one of you elected officials will talk about crime being down. Well, why do you think crime's down? Because the bad people are in jail. You pay for the arts? I love the arts. I'm not against the arts. My good friend, Fulton County Arts, David Manuel, doing a wonderful job. But I don't know. Comes to funding high school arts in the jail? You kind of got to lean towards the jail, especially if people are dying. Then you put it on the sheriff. It's just the craziest thing I've ever heard. You reject overtime funding. They sought solutions. There's this company that had biometric wristbands where you could track the inmates. So you get a guy in jail, maybe it's a traffic violation. So you don't want to keep the guy in jail on a traffic violation until he sees a judge because the courts are backed up, because you guys in the court system, you spent so much money just railing millions of dollars going after the president of the United States. And you put it on a sheriff. Then the guy sits in jail because he's driving with no insurance. Instead of just putting a wristband on him, sending him out back to work, and then he comes to court. If he doesn't come to court, you go arrest him. But you cut funding for that. And then the company that got the contract had to sue because you didn't pay him, and it cost you more in the lawsuit than it would have just to do the product. But you put that on the sheriff? I mean, you look. Shout out to Marvin Arrington. That's why I like Marvin Arrington for chair. He has always said, look, we got to fund the jail. And everyone, Bob Ellis and Dana Barrett, And then when something goes wrong, we blame the sheriff. You don't blame the people that fund the operation and don't give the money to fund the operation properly. You blame the guy that you won't fund his operation. Then I heard one of the Republican Fulton County commissioners says, well, why does he have the name on the side of his car? Well, lady, I love you to death. You know who I'm talking to. Every sheriff in the state of Georgia has their name on the side of the cars. You know why? So everyone knows who the sheriff is. And what does it cost to stencil in the name of the sheriff on the side of a car? $5? That's your shout? That's your outrageous funding? It's crazy to me. It's just absolutely nuts to me. But every single elected official will run out into the streets and yell, crime is down. Look what I've done. Hey, can you get some funding for Wright Street Jail? Oh, no, we can't do that. Those people don't vote. There's no reason for me to fund the jail. They don't vote. Then when someone dies, everyone runs out there. Ben Crump, here comes Ben Crump and all the lawyers. Oh, we've got to get to the bottom of this. No, you just want the cheese. You don't care about Mr. Muhammad and his legs being amputated. Because if you did, you would have funded the jail in the first place. They said, oh, he's been screaming for 10 days that he was ill and he needed his medicine. Well, if there's nobody working, who's supposed to go give him his medicine? I don't know. The deputy who's just spent 15 hours at regular pay, having feces thrown at him, cursed out, beaten, hit. I mean, come on, man. It's ridiculous. Get off my brother. Give him the money. And then if something goes wrong, it's on him. But don't starve out an institution, the jail, for political reasons, and then blame the guy who runs the jail, and you haven't given him enough funding to run the jail because everybody's anti-police. But you want them to still be arrested because you want the crime to go down. But you're anti-police. It's such double talk. You know what? I said earlier that I'm not angry or outraged. I am angry and outraged at everybody. I'm angry and outraged at everybody. I'm sorry. I'm angry and outraged at everybody. Come on, stop it. I'm on the air. I'm angry and outraged at everybody. Everybody, every politician, black, white, Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Independent, everybody. If you're in office right now, I'm hella mad at you right now. I really am. The ones I support, the ones I don't support, I'm just mad at you. Because you guys, you're playing games of people's lives. Really. People get in trouble and they go to jail. Some are in jail for no reason except, like I said, driving without a license. Towed his car, took him to jail. That shouldn't even be legal, but it is. People in jail because they didn't pay child support. Like there are judges right now running for re-election, who have put people in an overcrowded jail because they are behind on on child support. Really? That's what we're doing now? And you know the jail is overcrowded. 30 days. Where am I going to sleep, Your Honor? I don't know. Sleep on a floor. Then I contract some disease, my arm gets amputated, and whose fault is it? The sheriff's. Come on, what kind of world is this, ladies and gentlemen? If you don't laugh, you will really cry because they're so taking advantage of all of us. And they're not taking advantage of all of us because they care. They're taking advantage of us literally because they don't care. And that's why they're taking advantage of us. You know how many incumbent judges in Fulton County and DeKalb County and Cobb County are going to be reelected? You know how many? Probably 99% of them. But especially in Fulton County, they're all going to be reelected. And they're all going to go back to putting people in an overcrowded jail for minor offenses. And the law and order folks will say, yeah, we're cracking down on crime. Because we locked up a guy who's behind in child support. Or we locked up a guy who crossed against the red. It's crazy. Got your back, Sheriff Labat. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing it with little to no money. But keep doing what you're doing, brother. It ain't your fault. There's a bunch of us out here that understand what's happening. We'll be right back. It's the Shelley Winter Show.